At the end of the day, people are there to learn something, right? They're looking to get a result.
And you know what? That one day is going to generate, going to create this multi-million-dollar business for you. Like, that's a no-brainer. Like, of course.
So if you have a physical product, your product is solving a problem. If you have a digital product, your product is solving a problem.
Wix e-commerce is the professional platform that enables entrepreneurs all over the world to create and run their online stores and grow their e-commerce businesses. One of those entrepreneurs is Angel Gregorio, who runs thespicesweet.com, a $2 million multi-channel business on Wix. When the pandemic forced so many brick-and-mortar businesses to close their doors, Angel knew she had to pivot to online to keep selling her spices and keep up with the demand from her loyal customers. In fact, in just a few months, she sold over $900,000 worth of spices through her online store, and her last batch sold out in 2.5 minutes. Angel uses social channels to drive special sales and email marketing to update her customers about new inventory and upcoming events. She also uses in-depth analytics to gain business insights and monitor everything in her sales funnel: store management, marketing automations, and detailed payment reports, all from one dashboard. So if you want to succeed in 2021 and grow your online business like Angel did, head over to wix.com/e-commerce today. Ever wonder how the e-commerce brands you admire do it? How they just know the right message to send to the right people at the right time? Guess what? It's not experience. They have the right data and the right tools. They have Klaviyo. Klaviyo's data-driven marketing automation platform is sophisticated enough to power those legendary campaigns from the brands you admire, but they made it simple, easy, and fast enough for anyone to use. Klaviyo helps brands easily create personalized, multi-channel marketing campaigns using the most powerful asset: your customers' data. Klaviyo integrates with all leading e-commerce platforms, helping you use your customer data in real time to send more relevant email and SMS automations. Plus, building a marketing campaign is drag and drop easy. You can get started with your first campaign in under an hour and easily build from there with Klaviyo's best performing templates. Klaviyo gives you all the power of an enterprise marketing automation platform and none of the complexity, so you can compete with the big guys. No wonder more than 65,000 brands can't get enough. To get started with your free trial of Klaviyo, visit klaviyo.com/uncensored. That's KLAVIYO.com/uncensored.
You're listening to E-Commerce Uncensored with Kevin Manell and Jason Caruso.
Hey everyone, and thanks for joining us on another episode of E-Commerce Uncensored. My name is Kevin Manell, and I'm here with
Jason Caruso.
So today we want to talk about something that's actually been going on in one of our businesses over the last couple of days, conversations we've had. And the more and more I think about it, this concept has come up pretty regularly with some of our clients as well, with physical products. This situation actually ends up being an info product, like a digital product. So I just want to try to frame this for you, Jason, because when we were on the phone with our partner and our project manager the other day, and you kind of threw this kind of ideas at them, it was kind of really eye-opening to them. And it was almost like the first time I ever seen Jared just like kind of stop and be like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So it was basically a guy who came to us. He had a video course. I'm hearing an echo in my headphones. Are you, Jason?
No.
Are you hearing it? Okay.
No.
So,
but I was going to say something about why aren't these headphones noise canceling?
I don't know. You're right. They should be.
They should be, right?
I was thinking about using my AirPod Pros, but then I was afraid it was going to disconnect and reconnect. But that would be very helpful because then we wouldn't hear each other twice because we're sitting right next to each other.
Right.
So basically, there was this guy who had a course who wanted to work with us, and he was we were trying to go back and forth with what the price of this info product should be to the public. And he had it set at a price that we kind of thought was kind of low and we should increase it before we got started. And his kind of thought process was like, well, it's only 19 videos and it's only about 3 hours worth of information. So how can I validate like that to be such a much higher price? So that's when, Jason jumped in and kind of gave his really, really good spiel on value, putting a value on your product.
Yeah. I mean, people do this a lot, right? They create this product and they count how many modules there are, how many videos there are, and they see how long they are, and then they like work backwards. Like, okay, there's 20 videos and 3.5 hours worth of material. That's only worth $300, something like that, right? But at the end of the day, people are there to learn something, right? They're looking to get a result. So I said to our partner, I said, okay, if I came up to you, Jared, and I said, um, for $1,000, I need you to watch this one video. It's 20 minutes long, and at the end of it, you'll make $1 million. And he was like, and he started laughing.
Yeah, no brainer, right?
Because it's a no brainer, right? Like, it's not how long the modules are, how long the videos are, how long or how many videos there are, how many hours the videos are. At the end of the day, you're trying to get a result. You're trying to get solve a problem, so to speak. So if you have a physical product, your product is solving a problem. If you have a digital product, your product is solving a problem. And this kind of goes into also naming the product, right? It was interesting because this course, this guy is a really well-known photographer, wildlife photographer specifically, and he created this course, and it's called the Ultimate Wildlife Photography Course or training or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's not really attached to a result. It's just like a general name for a general course, right? And it's going to be very difficult to sell that course because there is no real problem that you're solving. If it said something like how to create crystal clear, noise-free photos, now that's a result. You're solving a problem. It's a lot easier to sell a course like that than it is to sell a course that's very generalized. And Kevin, I'm also reading through our journal for the Journal of Wildlife Photography, and I read the titles of some of the articles in there, and they're very general. Some of them are good, some of them will solve a problem, but there was one in there that said something like, I'm gonna forget it actually. Shit.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
It's just very general. It's like it's not really addressing a problem or addressing an issue or something that is being solved. It's just a teaching on something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you can have an overall title like that, like the Ultimate Wildlife Photography Course, but then it has to have some kind of end result attached to it, like you said. And I think the the more and more I think about this whole concept, the more and more I think about how it comes up, even with our agency, right? And I think you've drilled this into me a lot from the very beginning, is like when I'm like pricing out a job or pricing out a retainer, or how much is this website going to cost? I'm like, well, I have to see how many hours I'm going to have to put into this to really calculate a cost. But in actuality, be like, okay, doesn't matter how much it's cost. At the end of this, you're going to have a beautiful website. You're going to have this really great marketing campaign that's going to be generating all this money for me. What's the difference? How much money I spend on it, right? Instead of attaching, how much
time you spend on it.
Wait, what did I say?
You said doesn't matter how much money I spend.
How many hours I spend on it. It's just the result. I think if you told somebody like, after and people do this in our industry, the Russell Brunson of the world, it's $100,000 for me to
work with you for one day.
And you know what? That one day is going to generate, going to create this multi-million-dollar business for you. Like, that's a no-brainer. We're like, of course. You're not going back to be like, well, you're only going to work on it for 8 hours? Like, that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah. And that's, it's funny because this is not like an isolated problem. This is like how we think as humans. It's because we're always quantifying, like when you go into like Walmart, right? Like they're not solving big, important problems. Like, okay, I have a pair of like gray shorts and maybe Walmart has a pair of like blue ones and maybe I need a pair of blue ones, but it's not really solving a big problem. So like maybe you want to spend $10 on shorts. Maybe the kind of person that likes to spend $100 on shorts. The point is that we tend to have this like attached value with the actual item itself rather than the result it's going to get you. It's why we pay a lot of money to have our car fixed. It's why we will pay $250 for AirPods. It just goes on and on. It's like, you know,
Well, it's like the even out of the iPhone, right? I mean, these big brands, they don't show like how the thing works. They show what you're going to get out of it, like a camera on an iPhone. I mean, so I've heard them say before, like you get this many megapixels. I don't hear it very much, or like what kind of really intense glass is in it. They just show how beautiful the pictures are and that you're going to be able to put your phone underwater or whatever like that. It's never about like the guts of it and how much they spent to put the thing together.
well, that was the other example I used to him. I said, like, look, you could buy an iPhone for $1,000. I mean, the piece of metal itself was probably worth $10. And an iPhone without the internet is worth $0. But we pay $1,000 for a hunk of metal because it'll take beautiful pictures, and because I could do my email, and because I can make phone calls, and because I can watch video, and because I can watch TV. I can do all these things. But at the end of the day, it's not the piece of metal that you're buying. It's meaningless. And it's worthless, the metal, for the most part, right? But if it can do all these amazing things, the other example I used was a $13,000 500 millimeter lens, like a camera lens. How much could that metal really be? Like, how much does it cost to make the metal? Now, I know the glass is what you're paying for, better glass. But it's not really the glass. It's the result that the glass is going to give you, right? You're going to take pictures with a 500 millimeter lens that you can't take with a 50 millimeter lens. And it's not so much the lens. It's not so much how much it costs to make the lens. It's actually you're paying for what that lens is going to give you. And I think if we priced our products, whether they're physical or digital or whatever, according to what people are going to get, according to what the problem is going to solve, we'll find that our prices will probably increase. Even, Amazon, they make the majority of their money on little items with very little profit margin in them. Some of them have big profit margins. I'll take that back, depending on what it is. But you rarely see somebody go to Amazon for a big purchase, and if they do, it's because they researched it somewhere else and they're just buying it on Amazon because it's a little bit cheaper, even though Amazon isn't cheaper. This message comes from our sponsor, Wix E-commerce, the professional platform that enables entrepreneurs all over the world to create and run their online stores and grow their e-commerce businesses. One of those entrepreneurs is Angel Gregorio, who runs thespicesuite.com, a $2 million multi-channel business on Wix. When the pandemic forced so many brick-and-mortar businesses to close their doors, Angel knew that she had to pivot to online to keep selling her spices and keep up with the demand from her loyal customers. In fact, in just 2 months, she sold over $900,000 worth of spices through her online store, and her last batch sold out in 2.5 minutes. Angel uses her social channels to drive special sales and email marketing to update her customers about new inventory and upcoming events. She also uses in-depth analytics to gain business insights and monitors everything in her sales funnel, store management, marketing automation, and detailed payment reports, all from one dashboard. So if you want to succeed in 2021 and grow your online business like Angel did, head over to wix.com/e-commerce today.
Ever wonder how the e-commerce brands you admire do it? How they just know the right message to send to the right people at the right time? Guess what? It's not experience. They have the right data and the right tools. They have Klaviyo. Klaviyo's data-driven marketing automation platform is sophisticated enough to power those legendary campaigns from the brands you admire, but they made it simple, easy, and fast enough for anyone to use. Klaviyo helps brands easily create personalized, multi-channel marketing campaigns using the most powerful asset, your customers' data. Klaviyo integrates with all leading e-commerce platforms, helping you use your customer data in real time to send more relevant email and SMS automations. Plus, building a marketing campaign is drag and drop easy. You can get started with your first campaign in under an hour and easily build from there with Klaviyo's best performing templates. Klaviyo gives you all the power of an enterprise marketing automation platform and none of the complexity, so you can compete with the big guys. No wonder more than 65,000 brands can't get enough. To get started with your free trial of Klaviyo, visit klaviyo.com/uncensored. That's KLAVIYO.com/uncensored.
Well, I think that people always, especially when they're first starting out, they always gravitate towards being the cheapest. They feel like that's what's going to drive the product the best. And in the end, I always use this example, and it always pops into my head, is the brick oven that we used to work with. Like now it's going on like 5 years ago. We worked with him. He came to us and he was like, he worked for 4 years. He said, spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, and his goal was to create like this a really affordable oven. But when it came down to it, when it performed better when we actually raised the price, because it gave it more perceived value. And we started showing like the kinds of, it was a pizza oven. I don't know if did I mention it was a brick oven? So it was a pizza oven. And we started showing how easy it worked, how wonderful the pizzas came out of it, how fast it was. You know what it is? Like sell the benefits, not the features, right?
Right. No.
Sell the, what's that? Is it?
Yeah,
That's right,
so,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like features would be like, you know, it's made out of this kind of steel, or, you know, it has this, or has these legs, it has wheels on the bottom. That those are features, not the benefits. Like showing it rolling around, showing it the ease of use that you get, the great product that comes out of it every time you cook in it.
Yeah. Imagine if you watched an Apple commercial and it said, formed out of, you know, this aluminum and this glass and this, you know, and like you're like, the hell does that got to do with anything?
Now they just show somebody in an active lifestyle, like running around with their AirPods in and just having a wonderful time, and that could be you, kind of situation.
Well, one video that I saw that it was just crazy. Like I'm a big hockey fan, and I was watching hockey, and there's this video commercial with Apple, and they show this like awesome video of this goalie. He's like doing cartwheels on the ice, and they're like putting the phone and then on like taping it to the wall, and then like somebody's skating and like blowing snow on it, and they do all these like amazing things with this video, and then at the end it says shot with an Apple 12 Pro Max.
Yeah.
iPhone.
Yeah.
Right. So you're like, oh my God, like it's just the iPhone can do video like this.
Right.
And it's just they're just so good at that. They're so good at selling you on what the product is going to do rather than what the product is. And all of their marketing's that way. I mean, if you never see them talk about what it's made out of,
Right.
because at the end of the day, it's not made out of $1,000 worth of metal.
Yeah, it's not.
Or glass.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
But if you could take videos that look like they belong on TV,
Yeah.
or and they may have even said shot and edited.
Yeah, they have those videos that I know exactly what you're talking about. I don't know that specific hockey one or whatever, but I've seen ones at the end. It's like completely shot and edited with the Apple iPhone or whatever.
Right. So they show you this amazing video, and like, even though there are professionals that did that, and we can't do that even with the iPhone, it still can be done with the iPhone, which makes you believe you can do it. And that's, you know, neither here nor there. But getting back to pricing, if you start pricing your product around what the customer's going to get, the result they're going to get, you'll find a couple things. Number one, you'll get better customers because you're probably going to charge more money. They're going to complain less. And two, you'll be more profitable with your ads, with your emails, or with whatever else you're doing, because you're going to make more money, more lifetime value out of these customers at a higher price point. And chances are, you know, people who spend more, they'll continue spending more.
Yeah, that's a good point too. Like the better customer. That's such a good point, because you're bringing in a customer for, you know, $1,000 instead of $300. They're going to be just much more invested in your product. and it's just like you said, it's just a better customer that's going to spend more and not be a pain in the ass. Essentially, you have those bottom feeders that like they buy the cheap stuff and then they're just a pain in the ass all the time. So, and I love this idea because I feel like it's just so it comes into everything, pricing, everything, physical products, info products, service industry. I think it's all the same.
Yeah, and we also made the mistake too. Like we used to, like we were like, oh my god, if we can get $1,500 a month from this client, like, and then we were like, oh my god, if we can get $3,000 from this client, this is like amazing. Now, if you ain't giving us like 7,000 a month, we're really not even going to take you seriously. You
Oh
know
my
what I
god,
mean?
it was so fun. I can remember it like it was yesterday when I would say, I would like I'd talk to be like, I'm just so concerned. I haven't looked at this person's whatever in so long. Like, but they're not. But their business is growing. They're getting new customers. They're getting new leads. Like, what are you worried about? It's just like it's that thought process. Like, I have to give them something in return, but we're giving them a result. We're not giving them necessarily hours upon hours of work. It's just the result.
I cannot wait for this to be on iTunes and saved because you'll say that now, but yeah, I mean,
I'll say it again. I mean, it's not an easy mindset to get over. That's for sure.
Yeah, but it is definitely a result, and it's why, you see like these big coaches, they charge like $20,000 for their program, and the reason is because presumably they're going to get their student many times more than that. So yeah, I mean, pricing your stuff accordingly and
based on the result
is gonna change everything, I think.
Yeah, cool. All right, guys. So we're going to definitely start doing a lot more of these like short and sweet ones like we used to do, 15, 20-minute long. Cause I feel like it just seems like you guys like a little bit better. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and keep an eye on our podcast. I mean, we're going to have some of these interviews that we've been doing lately. We have them, sporadically because those stories are always fun to listen to, but make sure you subscribe to keep listening. And are you good, Jason? You all good?
Good. I'll say goodbye, but you just keep talking.
Thank you guys so much for listening. As always, you can check us out at ecommerceuncensored.com, and we'll talk to you guys real soon.
Later. This message comes from our sponsor, Wix e-commerce, the professional platform that enables entrepreneurs all over the world to create and run their online store and grow their e-commerce business. One of those entrepreneurs is Angel Gregorio, who runs the SpiceSuite.com. In just a few months, she sold over $900,000 worth of spices through her online store alone. So if you want to grow your business in 2021, head over to wix.com/e-commerce.
Attention e-commerce founders, entrepreneurs, side hustlers, marketers, and growth hackers. If you're working round the clock to build your dream e-commerce business, you need an e-commerce marketing platform that works just as hard as you do. That means you need Klaviyo. With Klaviyo, you'll delight customers and drive revenue at the same time, with personalized emails and SMS marketing campaigns that you can design and send in minutes. For more, visit klaviyo.com/uncensored. That's KLAVIYO.com/uncensored.